And hello, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray. This is a brand new day. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Well, all we ask is pretty much one thing. One thing alone. 30 minutes of your time to give you the top 10 things you need to know to live your best life or grow your business. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, and you are in for a treat today because we got 10 tips for you to help you get through your day, or you may just want to live a better life, or you may want to improve your life, or you may say, Ramon, it's time that I can grow my business in brand new ways. So welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. And listen, look at your neighbor, look at your friend, call somebody after the show and let them know you care about them. Let them know you're thinking about them. Let them know they're on your mind. My name is Ramon Ray. Let's get started today. Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. I saw this in Black Enterprise some time ago. Personal branding in the 1970s. They were talking about the founder of Black Enterprise, Earl Graves Sr. And interestingly enough, we talk about the aspect of personal branding today in this modern day and age. But this gentleman, this icon, this king started Black Enterprise, I want to say in the 1970s. When you think about that, he launched Black Enterprise with a $175,000 loan and reached the peak of circulation in the 1990s of 500,000 people. It had turned a profit by the 10th issue. So I find it very interesting because when we think about today, modern day times, where we have TikTok and Snapchat and all these brands, Mr. Graves was doing this back in the day. The article reads, in the 1980s, Jordan became brand Jordan. In the 1990s, P. Diddy at the time wore jerseys emblazoned with bad boy. But long before that, Mr. Graves' three-piece suits, monogrammed cufflinks, full Windsor knot, and wingtip shoes were associated with his empire. So my question today is, what is your brand? What is that part of you that stands out and that makes you special? That's in fact different possibly than anybody else. Now, some of you may be thinking personal brand might be in some way what you wear or what you don't wear. Personal brand could also be what you stand for or don't stand for. Personal brand could be what your business cards look like. Let me see if I can pull out my business cards. And I went a bit casual today. Hope you don't mind the t-shirt. Usually I got some fancy shirt on or sweater. Today I said, let me just talk to the people. But look at my business cards. This is part of my brand of who I am. Ramon Ray is a motivational keynote speaker and event host. I have a variety of business cards that people can pick out. And every time I show these to people, I get a cool reaction like, ooh, Ramon, that is cool. So my point is, what's your brand? Put these back in my pocket. Personal branding is about your colors and things, yes. Personal branding is about what you're wearing, yes. Personal branding is about your font. Personal branding is also how you speak. Personal branding is maybe how you smell. There's a number of things that go to our person of our brand. This is something I want you to always keep in mind. We all have a brand. Starbucks has a brand, high-end, as it were, coffee. Maybe you're an espresso person. Maybe you're a Dunkin' Donuts person. Maybe you're a Pete's Coffee person. Maybe you're Gregory's Coffee in New York City. Whatever kind of person you are, we all have some brand. And Mr. Graves showcased that, crystallized that, even back in the 70s. Starting this amazing Black Enterprise brand, he showed that personal branding is something we all have, we can all achieve if we want it. That's the thing to consider. Do we want it? Hey everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. If you're just joining in, this is the Rundown with Ramon, where we help give you the top 10 things you need to live your best life or start or grow your business. I'm glad you're here with me. What do you think about personal branding? What is your personal brand like? DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle, and talk to me. Let me know, Ramon, Here's my personal brand. I'd love to hear from you. Let's move on to the next tip of the day. Ding, 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 ding. Remote work is good, but can you get promoted? Interesting article that came out is that many people indeed want to work from home. I get it. You want to spend more time with your family, wash your car when you want, eat when you want, even though in fairness, people who are remote working work just as hard as anybody else. But here's the thing, studies show, writes the Wall Street Journal, that as you're working from home, you may get promoted less. New data, though, shows fully remote workers are falling behind in one of the most prized and importante aspects of a career, and that is getting promoted. Over the past year, remote workers were promoted 31% less frequently than people who worked in an office. This data, I believe, is from, according to an analysis of 2 million white-collar workers by employment data provider Live Data Technologies. So what can you do about it? If you're a remote worker, you're out of the office, how do you get that face time? How do you get that lunch time? How do you get that water cooler meeting? How do you get those handshakes, those high fives, those in the parking lot leaving that evening smiles, those entering into the building that evening smiles, those sharing the elevator ride up and down, getting a coffee quick as you're going from meeting to meeting? Those things do matter. So what can remote workers do? Well, one thing I'll tell you, it is a choice. If you're working remote and you're spending more time with family, as it were, you're working just as hard, but you're able to work differently. You're going to have different interactions with those who are in the office. That's a fact, and you're going to have to live with it. That's a fact. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with it. Now, there are some things you can do. Go into the office on a regular basis, meaning every once in a while on a regular schedule. Be in person. People see your face on the proverbial Zoom calls. Send thank you cards. Go to team retreats. Don't be a wallflower. Don't be invisible. Just doing the great work, but no one knows who's behind the great work. You're just the puppet master, and people see the puppet, your work, but they don't know you. Be known. Be active. Let people know who you are. That I don't know how that will take a take on your next promotion, but I must say doing things like that give you a better chance for sure of getting promoted. Because here's the game. Here's the rub, as my friend Seth Godin would say. If you're invisible, people don't know you. If people don't know you, how are they going to think about you when it comes time for promotion? And if you're not promoted, getting a little more money, more responsibility, more recognition, isn't that kind of part of the reason we want to go to work? Yes, to pay for our family and live life like that. But we also want to enjoy our work. It's a trade-off. Think about what you're going to do. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. If you're just joining, thanks for joining the Rundown with Ramon. All we ask is 30 minutes of your time to give you the top 10 things you need to start or grow your business. And I'm so glad you're here with me today. What's up next? Ding, 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 ding. Flying in America is safe. Don't worry. Here's the thing. I believe there's been a little bit of angst. The airline takes off or the airline lands. The article writes by Ben Cohen, the harrowing story of the Alaska Airlines flight that narrowly avoided disaster at 16,000 feet. And it goes on and on and on. The biggest U.S. commercial airlines have now gone nearly 15 years without a fatal crash. The country's safety record would have sounded just incredible or inconceivable 15 years ago. I never would have believed it. Safety is on the rise. And it worked. This new system was designed to prevent those accidents from ever happening, and it worked. The old system explained accidents after they happened. But there's been a new revolution in air safety. This revolution in the sky that has saved countless lives began nearly 3 decades ago with a surprisingly innovative strategy for improving air safety. This is about air safety, but it's also about what you can do in your business to innovate in new ways. It depended on pilots, Flight attendants and dispatchers voluntarily reporting safety issues and admitting their own errors, people. But first, it demanded the entire industry agree to a profound shift in risk tolerance. Now, I'm just reading into this. I don't have the whole detail. You can look at this yourself. But I believe the bottom line they're getting is that if you fess up, if you help us make this better, we're not going to fire you and say you're gone. No, if you say, hey, listen, the flashlight kind of fell out because I forgot to latch it, or the flashlight fell out because it wasn't safety secured, we're not going to ding you for that. They may in some way, but we want you to report it so we can all be safer. Self-reporting your errors, fessing up your errors is a powerful way. And this is one reason they're saying the airlines are more safety. People can come out and say, hey, we screwed up. We did this, and make it better for all of us. What's the lesson learned here? We're talking about air safety, sure, but there's a bigger lesson than air safety here. And that bigger lesson learned is that what are we doing in our businesses to encourage people to self-report, encourage people to as it were, police themselves, encourage people to not hide, encourage people to boop with the spotlight, encourage people to come out and say, listen, hey, I did this. This is what we want to do, because the more people are open, the more people are transparent, the better it will be for all of us and make the world a safer place. So you think about that in your business. You think about it in your life with your kids. When they come and say, Mommy, you spilled something, are you going, ah? Inside you may. But are you giving them some grace? Are you giving them a chance to make things right? This is important. This is important. The airlines learned this 30 years ago. They started to migrate and say, hey, the Bible says this, right? If you confess your sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Right? That's a point there. So think about that for your own business. Think about that for your own life. Be a bit quicker to forgive and how we can correct and make mistakes. So bring mistakes out, but forgive faster and not be so quick to judge. But first say, instead of just trying to correct it and smack your hand, how do we correct the problem and make sure it doesn't happen again? Everybody listen, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. And I'm so glad you're here today. Because if you weren't here, we wouldn't have a show. That'd be pretty miserable. I'd be lonely talking to myself. I don't want to talk to myself. But I want you to be here and enjoy this experience with me. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Maybe you have a tip. Maybe you have an advice for me. Maybe you have something you want to bring to the table. Definitely we want to hear it. Bring it out. And again, I'm so glad you're here today. Let's move forward. Ding, 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 ding. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Gucci wants older, richer customers. There's a lesson here for small business owners. So what the headline is talking about is this. When Gucci's flagship store opened last month in Milan, Italy, bonjour, that's not Italian, I know. The space was missing the Baroque flourishes and jewel-toned colors that have defined the brand in recent years. Instead, the look is decidedly less maximalist. All clean lines and understated tones. The restrained renovation is part of a dramatic makeover by the once florid brand aimed at reaching older and more conservative customers. Or put it another way, the richer ones. Here's the lesson here. This is not about Gucci. I don't want to get into Gucci here. And all y'all Gucci people, leave my Gucci alone. Calm down, people. I ain't going after your Gucci. But here's the lesson for us business owners. Here's the lesson that The Rundown with Ramon wants to bring out to you today. Is it time for you to sometimes find new customers? Is it time for you sometimes to shift who you're going after? Is it time for you to at times to shift how you're working? Is it time for you at times to shift who you used to have pay you money and be your customer, but now it's somebody else? Is it time? I'm not saying it is today or not, but aren't these things that we can think about? Sometimes you may want to shift your customer segmentation. Think about it. Maybe you're going after customers that were like this today, and now you're going after customers that are like that today instead. It's a choice. Gucci seeing that shift. It could be because one set of customers that had served you for some time were good, but now you're looking at another subset of customers that may be more profitable for you, different for you as you go into new areas. That's a choice we get to make as business owners. Seth Godin says we get to choose who we want to serve, what we want to serve them, and who we want to do it with. It is a choice that we get to do as business owners. So I think it's an interesting lead in that Gucci, yes, wants new customers, older, richer customers. I get it. But it's something interesting there. The customer you started with today may not be the customer you end up with. Think about that. My name is Ramon Ray. If you're just joining in and tuning in, I'm so glad you're here. This is The Rundown with Ramon. All we ask is 30 minutes of your time to give you the top 10 things you need to do to start your business or live your better life. Let's go to our next tip. Ding, 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 ding. What is an inner critic and how do we conquer it? This is a huge, huge issue. Huge issue. Huge issue. And I want to call it out and talk about it a bit and let you know that the inner critic within you can keep you down for sure. The inner critic within you can for sure push you down and keep you down and help you not live the life you want to live. The inner critic can indeed. It's that voice in your head that keeps telling you you can't do it. That voice in your head that keeps talking to you. The fear grinds you. That inner voice that's in your head that says, no, don't go forward. The inner voice that brings back the bullying you got maybe in high school. That inner critic that pushes you back, that stops you from going as far as you know you need to go. That inner critic that seems to sit right on your shoulder and tell you that you're going to fail. The inner critic that when you want to go take another step, the inner critic says, nah, don't take the step, sit back. Let somebody else do it. You can't. The inner critic that tells you you can't lose the weight you need to live. You can't live the health you need to live. My point being to tell you today, you got to silence the inner critic. Yes, you may want to be cautious. Yes, you want to be smart. Yes, you want to do things judiciously, for sure. But you can't let the inner critic to you, because it'll just keep you down and it'll be a rock that'll crush you. Silence the inner critic. Yes, the voice of caution, the voice of prudence, you want to ring loud within you, but you don't want it to turn into being the inner critic. I know what that's like. I've gone through this in my own life where I've had to tell myself, Ramon, stop saying you're unfocused. Stop saying you have no direction. I have some issues I need to overcome. Absolutely. But I can speak words of power, words of faith, words of encouragement, and not just words that keep me dragged down. If you've just tuned in, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. All you ask is 30 minutes of your time to give the top 10 tips you need to live your best life or grow your business. Let me know what you think about the inner critic. Do you have that voice in your head, that inner critic chatting with you day in and day out? Do you have the inner critic? What do you do with the inner critic in your voice? DM me on Instagram. Let me know. Ramon Ray Smart Hustle, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Talk to me. I want to hear from you, so we can help each other live our best lives. What do you do with the inner critic? What do you do with the voice that says you can't do it? What do you do with the voice that wants to keep you back and pull down? This is The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Integrate finance and your small business systems. I saw this headline in Grit Daily, and I thought to bring it out to you. Small business leaders are harnessing the power of financial technology to revolutionize their operations. From automating billing to integrating timekeeping for transparent billing, we've gathered firsthand experiences and insights from 5 founders to talk about how to do it. So 1, automate billing and cash flow. Automate billing and cash flow. This is one way to grow your business, by automating it, not having to do it manually, says Lucas. Number 2, transform transactions with advanced analytics. Are you not just taking the data that's coming in, but what are you doing with it? Is it being done in a smarter way? Transform transactions with advanced analytics. Number 3, embrace finance tech for time savings, says Mike, the owner of Mari Grove Awnings. It says at Mari Grove Awnings, we jazzed up our game by hitching a ride on the finance tech. We plugged in this tool. It made money stuff a breeze. So embrace financial technology for time savings. Revolutionize financial management of Flycast Media. Integrate timekeeping for transparent billing. So my point is, if your processes is all manual and you're not integrating the various components of your business, that's not too good. Or as I like to say, my fake Spanish, no bueno. I mean, it's a real word, but I'm not really Hispanic. So I want to include you in that. I want to clue you in that, rather. Don't just keep your financial system separate, but your finance, your analytics, even your marketing, your customer, all this should be running together as a well-oiled machine. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon. If you're just tuning in, this is The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. How to position your startup for success. Interesting article I want to bring out here, and I want you to listen closely. As a startup or a small business owner that is just starting out, it is so important to differentiate yourself from the competition. Sometimes I trim my R. Differentiate is not necessary. As I said, I'm not even Spanish. I'm just having some fun here, guys. But the key takeaways in this article by Roy Deckel: the importance of deeply understanding your competition is striving to be different and humanizing your brand. How can you show up in the world and say you're different or be different? One is understand your competitors deeply. Deeply understand, who are my competitors? This is portrayed in the Sun Tzu's The Art of War. It emphasizes the importance of thoroughly understanding your competitors. The more you understand your competitors, the better it'll be. Never underestimate the competition. Oh, they're just a food truck and 2 gals in a garage. We're going to crush them. Nope, maybe not. Oh, they're just. Never underestimate who your competition is, and make sure, by the way, you know who your competition is. Is your competition the next business, or is it the biggest competitor in the world? Lack of doing anything. Differentiate yourself. Front and center here is the often overlooked blue ocean strategy. Instead of endeavoring to be better, why not strive to just be different? Last but not least, humanize your brand. What can you do to humanize your brand? In an age where customers are bombarded with AI and brands are vying for their attention, a human touch can be beautifully refreshing. The human touch is amazing. Human touch is powerful. Sometimes I think we forget about that. Just to be human. It's so important. Just being human. Think about it. Just say hi. Just smile. I hope you're doing well today. My name is Ramon. What's your name? Hey, did you want a coffee? Just be human. Yes, we're in business. But what can we do to bridge the human gap? What can we do to take things to the next level, especially on the human side? Be more human. Ding, 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 ding. Let's move forward here in the rundown with Ramon. Swimming Near the Edge versus the Center of the Pool by Jason Fried of 37 Signals. He talks about, imagine a vast pool, and you can dive in the center and have all these options around you, or stay near the edge. The choice between VC funding and bootstrapping independently depends on an entrepreneur's appetite for risk and personal definition of success. VC funding is typically for those who aim for a singular large-scale win, while bootstrapping appeals to those seeking the path with multiple potential outcomes along the way. One wants it all, while the other wants enough. He says here, realistically, there are other places to start than just the edge or center. You can start further center, but closer to the edge. What he's trying to give is the analogy of being in a pool. There's multiple ways to have a successful business. There's multiple ways to get to the next level, is the point the author's making. Jason Fried of 37 Signals, an amazing company. You should look at it. You can jump in the center of the pool and still get the distance you want. You can stay on the edge and still get the distance you want. Multiple ways to reach your goals. But however you reach your goals, you're not going to reach any of them if you don't get in the proverbial pool. Ding, 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 ding. OpenAI's customer chat bot. If you haven't checked out OpenAI recently, you definitely should. It has a nice little, what do they call it here? A little, people who subscribe to OpenAI's Chatbot Plus service will be able to browse the news store for tailored chat bots. Pretty cool. If you're not into AI, yes, I'm going to push you further towards it. And last but not least, ding, 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 ding. Remember, I've told you, Gmail and Yahoo are going to begin, if they're not already, to block your emails unless you're verifying your email service. You definitely want to do this. The sender requirements are real. Use SPF and DKIM email authentication. I've told you this once. I'm telling you again. You can go to zoneofgenius.com and look up email authentication for all kind of links and things to that. Listen, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray, and this is The Rundown with Ramon. All I ask is one thing. I want you to make a difference in the world. People need you. Call somebody today. Let somebody know that you're there for them, that you care for them, that they need something. Encourage somebody today, and I will see you next time on The Rundown with Ramon. Don't forget, DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Let me know what tips you like, what tips you didn't like, what tips you have as you're on the journey of starting and growing your business or just being a better human. Thanks for being here on The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray.